Hello, and welcome to the Hello You Show, where we talk about big dreams and taking real action. Through transformative stories, a bit of neuroscience, and real conversations, this show is here to help you explore creating your next level life with authenticity and passion. I'm Jessica Rice, a design techie and former engineering leader turned vision evolution coach on a mission to help other women rise up and lead a life of purpose. So get cozy and say hello again to the real you. Welcome back to the Hello You Show. My name is Jessica Rice, and today we are joined by our wonderful guest, Nikki Hillhouse, who has gone on this amazing transformational journey of overcoming and really rising up to being a very sought after wellness coach and retreat facilitator. And so Nikki, we were just so happy to have you here joining us today. Thank you so much for being on the Hello You Show.
Oh, thank you so much, Jessica. It's lovely to be here. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, it's such a delight. So where are you joining us from for our guests who don't know?
Okay. I mean, my accent gives it away that I'm actually Scottish. I'm originally from Edinburgh, but I now live on the beautiful Aegean coast in southwest Turkey. I've been here for about 20 months now.
It sounds like a dream coming from over here.
That was the plan. So where I am now, it's all sort of come to fruition. You know, it's all sort of where I sort of imagined I would be, you know, through all the work and progress to get here. So it's great. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Well, I know that you have, this amazing story that we're going to dive into, but if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit to start out with, it's just how you serve others and the work that you do.
Of course. I'm a mindset and therapeutic coach. I'm also a meditation teacher, and I have the privilege of hosting my own wellness retreats here in beautiful Turkey.
Yeah.
I help others to literally step into their own power, become their own authentic selves, literally unveiling the masks. You know, we're conforming to society, we're hiding behind who people think we should be. So it's all about coming back to our authentic selves. And it's really just helping others to, it's almost like unlocking the key to their mind, stepping out of because all our thoughts, all our stories, everything is processed in our minds. And a lot of people are so sort of lost and caught up in the past with the memories, or they're disliking their present life now, or they're fixating and worrying about the future that hasn't happened. So I just really help others to come back to the present moment and really just embrace their selves and let go of the traumas from the past that could be haunting them, and just see that they're not broken, they're perfect as they are, and just help them to step into this beautiful life of well-being and joy and peace and freedom. So I'm just privileged that I get to do this work.
It's so beautiful. And I love how you are really helping people to step into this kind of future and this present and this future state. I think you're right. Sometimes we get really stuck in the past and we just don't know how to move forward, really.
It's that sort of thing of, we can sort of repair and evolve. Do we want to repair and evolve, or do we want to be stuck in the past? Do we want to be stuck in those repetitive stories and stuck in the past? Or do you want to evolve? And move forward, and literally that's all I do, really. Just everyone's got the answer. I just really help give them a guidance, so they've got the key. They've got their own key that they can just unlock their potential, unlock their authenticity. I'm just sort of there as a facilitator to help them to do that. So it's great, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing with us a little bit about what you do. And I know that you have really this incredible story of how you kind of found your way into this work. Would you mind sharing your story with us?
No, happy to do so, Jessica. Where I am today, I've got this beautiful life in Turkey, and I'm just blessed that, I have my coaching business and I run transformational wellness retreats. However, it hasn't always been like that for me. Where I am today transpired through my own traumas. And I had a really big trauma at the age of 31. I went to an osteopath because I had a bit of neck pain and my neck was manipulated. And unfortunately, I suffered a stroke. So there I was, 31 years old. My whole world had just turned upside down. So I was just trying my best to just go on with life, grateful that I was alive and I could still function. It was a long journey ahead. I spent many, many years in and out of doctors, hospitals, pain clinics, given so many different medications. I think at one point my prescription said 19. There's just so many different drugs I was taking. And I believed the doctors because I trusted them and they had my welfare at heart. Well, that's what I thought. So I just went along with everything that the doctors were saying to me. Till I got to the stage, this was 9 years ago, I actually I got to the stage where I just thought, I was sitting in bed one morning, I was taking my medication, taking my coffee, and it took about 40 minutes, for the medication to kick in. Then I'd get up, get out of bed, put my makeup on, get up, go to work sort of thing. And in that moment, I almost, it wasn't like I was hearing voices. It was like I heard the word power, almost saw this word power, didn't know what it meant. I thought, I don't know what's going on here. And I'd just been had my eyes closed, doing a little bit of meditation and breath work. So power must mean something. And that's when it clicked. I realised that I had to take my power back. I had to become the CEO of my own health and find my own way to heal. So that's what I did. So that was 9 years ago, and I signed myself out of the doctors, and I spent 5 years weaning myself off all the medications to get to where I am now. So, yeah, bit of a journey.
Well, I know it's incredible. And I think that, as you're describing this, like so many people today are in similar types of situations where they're just feeling so stuck. And we don't know really what it is that we can do outside of just following a prescribed path that sometimes can feel like our own little prison that we're a part of. So when you were making that shift where you were like, okay, enough, and now I'm seizing my power back, and you signed out of the doctors, like what were some of the feedback even that you were receiving, say from doctors or from other people?
Probably that I was a little bit crazy. The doctors didn't really, I didn't really tell them, to be honest. I just really they never followed up what I was sort of doing anyway. But I think a lot of people and friends were saying, you must be crazy. I didn't need medication to keep me alive. It was all for pain relief. And I got to the stage that I was just so confused, so scared that, the chronic pain that I was experiencing would define my existence. And I didn't want to live like that anymore after 15 years of going through the pain and the medications. So yeah, back to the doctors, and what do people say? Probably like, what are you doing? Because I went out and bought a juice machine, and I was under no illusions that to start juicing that my pain would disappear. I knew that I had to use many different modalities, and it was all about an integrative approach. So that was the first thing I did. I went down, I was a bit like a detective, and I decided to work on my body, work out why my body was in pain. Why have I got this inflammation? What's causing it? Because doctors never tell you why you have something. You go with a collection of symptoms and they give you a pill for it. But they never tell you why your body's working that way. So that was really the beginning when I started to do a bit of investigation for myself and take responsibility really for my own health.
So incredible how you kind of just dove in and started, it sounds like piece by piece, just starting to figure it out. But walk us through the journey a little bit too, from this point where you're figuring out how to get your health back, how to feel better in your body, to then becoming a wellness coach and helping other people in this process.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, it wasn't easy. I'm not going to under any illusion any of this was easy, the journey, but I knew that it would be worthwhile. But at the beginning, I didn't know it'd be worthwhile. I changed my diet, and I started using different, I was using acupuncture, Reiki, different modalities, and they were helping. But what made a significant, profound effect on me was meditation.
Mhm.
And I learned a meditation technique that I now teach my own clients called body calm, and it had such a significant effect on my body. When I could see that I wasn't broken, me, the permanent, the I, the self, is not broken. It's just in this physical, in this vehicle. That's when things started to shift and change for me. I then started to see that I want freedom. I want freedom from pain. I want freedom from all these health things going on. But once I started to realize that freedom is the willingness to experience all the life and to do so without suffering, it's like, oh, right, okay. So even though having tricky things going on in the body, I was then able to accept that even though I have a body, I'm not my body, in a physical, that sounds a bit too odd, but we all have bodies, but we're not our bodies. And once I started the meditation, things just started to progress a bit forward for me because I was still lost in my thoughts and lacked confidence, very frightened. I had many weekends in bed with my pain. But as I started to meditate, things got easier and easier, and I started to have this confidence and this ability within myself to go, yeah, I know I can heal. And that's when I started to wean off some of the medications that I was on. So that was my first sort of the meditation. But then I realized that, I needed to go on an inner journey to heal. And that inner journey is never quite simple. So I did a lot of inner work on myself. A lot of the training that I did, I did mind detox therapy, lots of different tools and techniques. But I was doing it for myself, and not in, I didn't even think that I'd be coaching anyone else. It was more just for my own healing.
Mhm.
And once I started to adopt all these tools and techniques for myself, and it really started to make a profound effect. I thought, I need to share this with others. I need to share this with people who are struggling right now, maybe mentally, physically, and emotionally. So that's, Jessica, 9 years ago, how it all started.
Mm. Well, it definitely does sound like a journey, but I appreciate your honesty with that because I think sometimes, especially in our society, we're so desperate for the right path, the right, solutions. But we also kind of come into this misnomer that things will happen really quickly. And so it sounds like really that patience and that steadfast belief that you would find the answers, it started to just unfold for you. And that's when you started to decide to share again with other people too, so that you could help them along their own journey as well.
Yeah, it's been very profound. And I think that's why I'm all about being authentic, be unapologetically, authentically you, because there's only one of, I can't do what you do, Jessica. You can't do me. So I think we're completely unique, every single one of us. And I think once we accept that and we stop hiding behind the masks of perfectionism and people pleasing and being a goodist, and start to realize, do you know what? I don't care if somebody likes me or not. This is me. I'm unapologetically me. Then life gets so much easier. I think that's it. We see so much stuff in the media. We're so conditioned to act or be a certain way, a good wife, a good mother, a good sister, daughter, and we get hung up on all these conditioned responses, how we think we should be. But see if we just let go of all that, let go of all the expectations of who we think we should be, that's when you come back to who you really are. And that's where life, it's simple. It's a more simple way to live, definitely.
Mm. Well, and I love that you're sharing again, like authenticity and freedom, because that's what this show is truly about. And I love that you've touched on that even a little bit more. But, I think too, it's interesting is that when you're talking about this, I can think of so many people who do feel like this, and regardless of where you're at in your life, we get stuck by these things. And like you said, it's simpler, but also I think when we're coming back to who we are, that's when we can really shine, right? That's when we can come out and truly be ourselves, because all of those other expectations hold us back. So what do you start to see as you're, helping other people start to come together in this and find kind of this new path forward?
For me, it's when someone comes to me and they feel like they're broken, what's my purpose? I'm broken, and they're so hung up on past traumas, or they're not good enough. Usually it's I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy enough.
Mm.
And it's literally like stripping back the layers to get back to the core of who they really are.
Mm.
And it's just so beautiful to witness when someone has that transformation. It's almost like, it sounds bizarre, but their skin color changes, everything changes. They have like this light around them. They're so much happier. And at my retreats, and people come, and then by the end of 6-7 days, it's almost like they've had this heavy coat on, full of weight, and they've literally just shed it and becoming their authentic self and not frightened of anything anymore. So yeah, that's it gives me such great pleasure to witness that.
Mm. Do you notice a connection too with a release of then pain that they're feeling as they're starting to move into a greater mode of self-acceptance and kind of shedding of those traumas that they've been holding on to?
Yeah, a lot of it is beliefs. They're hanging on to these beliefs of, like I said, not good enough, not worthy enough. And it's almost, when I do mind detox with people, it's getting to the root of why they're feeling that way. We can't change our past no matter what's happened, but we can change our perceptions about what's happened and get peace with it. It's all about the work that I do is all about getting peace with your past, your present, and and the future's not happened yet. So it's just that, really getting peace with everything, whatever's happening in your life. No matter. And I think it's all about no matter what we've been through, not being a victim to circumstance. Don't take that as a victim mentality. See it as, no matter what bad's happened, obviously some real not very nice things that happen to people, but don't let it define you. It's not who you are. Don't let it define you, and don't let it define your present life. Use your experiences and help it to mold you into the present and the future, really.
Mm. I feel like it's something like all of us can learn. I mean, we teach this now for children, like how to develop self-confidence and self-resilience. And yeah, I think we as adults and as people in general is something that we all can continue to grow in, because I think for so long we're just worried about comparing ourselves or how we're showing up and all of these other things. And so it sounds like everything that you're saying was the opposite of that, which is, really developing that self-resilience to just be okay with the things that have happened and how we can use that, but also remembering who we are so that we can just walk forward from it.
This is it, Jessica. And when in society, social media, everything that you see out there now, everyone starts comparing especially the young ones, the teenagers now, comparing themselves to everyone else. Is that really what's going on in someone's life, or is that just the camera? Is this just like a made up story? But people start comparing themselves to others' successes, wealth, relationships, health, all this sort of thing, and you're comparing yourself all the time. That does not do anybody any favours. It doesn't do you any good whatsoever. It's more about focusing on what you have now. What you have now, not focusing on what you don't have. And a lot of people focus on, well, I don't have this, so-and-so has this, and that's not fair, and I've worked so hard, and I haven't got this, and I haven't got that. But what do you have? Focus on your achievements. Even a lot of people, I haven't really done much in my life. And once they start talking, they've been through quite a bit, their experiences. That's the most important thing. Do you want to put on the victim glass when you get up on the day? Do you want to put your victim glasses on, be like everyone else? Or do you want to put the survivor ones on? The surviving ones are where you embrace your uniqueness, embrace what's happened to you, and see that you're strong, you're resilient. Embrace all what you've been through, and it's almost like giving yourself a pat on the back, saying, yeah, I am resilient and strong, and I'm able to deal with what life's thrown at me.
I love that analogy of the victim glasses versus the survivor glasses. That's beautiful. I think sometimes there's that phrase, right? Looking at life through rose-colored glasses, and it was always this kind of negative connotation. But I love how you create this new paradigm to think about it, because it's true. We can wake up and we can think about our life in one way, or we can look at it in another way. And that's really what sets people apart, right? When we look at history and people who have gone through and been successful, it's not because they had a golden road that they walked down. They just approach their life differently.
I always see it like this. If you keep doing what you're always doing, you'll keep getting what you always do. So it's a mindset shift into, life's unfair. This has happened to me. That's happened to me. And everyone else has got this and I haven't got this. And I work 10 times harder than someone else. You need to get rid of that victim mentality and really appreciate and be grateful for what you have in your life now. Because, when you start praising what you have in your life, that gratitude, it leads to love. And then you have even more appreciation for your life. And that sort of radiates out onto everyone that you're around, because who wants to be around someone that's miserable and, woe is me and life is so tough for me? I'd rather be around someone that lifts me up and someone that no matter what they've been through, they're happy with their life. They're happy with what they have. Because everyone should be grateful for what they have, no matter how that's a comparison thing again. If you're comparing it to someone else who's got this and I haven't got that. But what do you have right now, today? What do you have? There's a lot to be grateful for.
I think that's such a great lesson that we can all really take away. And I think too, during the pandemic, that came back a little bit more, because as we had to kind of shelter a bit more, I think that we started to see what we had in different capacities. But now that the world is coming back and people are going back out there and noticing more, some of those old behaviors are starting to resurface.
Yeah, and I think it's about being, start with compassion for yourself. Be kind to yourself. Often people, it's great, of course, be kind to others, but people often forget to be kind to themselves. They bereft themselves and they self-criticize all the time. And what's happened, love yourself, praise yourself. It's not being egotistical. It's like praise yourself for, if you've done something good at work or you've helped a client or whatever it is, or something that's happened in the family, praise yourself and have that self-respect and that self-love. And that's where the confidence comes from as well, because the more you can appreciate yourself and have that natural love towards yourself, it then radiates out onto others. So it's like a win-win situation. So everyone around you sees you as happy and grateful that, you pass that over onto them, and then it sort of rubs off on them, and they end up, loving their selves and appreciating what they have. So it really is all about gratitude and coming back to the self-compassion and loving yourself.
Well, I know that too. So every day can't always be perfect for you either, right? You're still facing things sometimes in your life that aren't, maybe all completely, wonderful and everything's great. So what keeps you moving forward for yourself in the work that you do and how you serve others?
I see it as everything that's happened to me, especially my stroke. It was for a reason, it happened for a reason. So I could then go on and share my story and help others. So I'm human. I have good days. I have bad days. And if I'm having a bad day, and I was saying it before, Jessica, about self-compassion, I'll take some time off. I'll have some time to myself. I will nurture myself, because if my cup is running on empty, I need to fill my cup up, nurture myself so I can then share it with others.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when I'm having bad days, I will take as much time as I need to help myself, because I'm no good to anyone, if I'm not working 100%. So that's what motivates me, really, that I have the pleasure. It's very humbling that you know that you make a difference, and you get these beautiful, reviews from your clients that you've maybe helped someone that's been in therapy for 30 years. They've tried so many different therapists, and they're sort of you're their last straw in a way, and you're like, oh, right, okay, I'll do what I can. But they have the answers. It's just you guiding them. And just to help someone like that spent maybe 20, 30, 40 years in suffering, especially health conditions. I do a lot of mind body work. It's a lot of what we think and what we feel creates disease in the body. And we look beyond that. We look beyond the label. I've been, doctor says I've got arthritis. I've got back pain caused by a bulging disc. Yeah, but why have you got that? So I look beyond all that, and to see someone that's they're in pain, and they've been in pain for many years, to have a couple of sessions and their pain goes. That is just, that's what gives me that incentive to get up every day and do what I do.
Well, it's so inspiring to just listen to the story that you've had, but also how you've really transformed all of that into how you can help others also achieve and just feel better in their lives, and what it is that they truly have available to them. So I'd love to know, like, how can people find you, work with you, reach out to you? What are the best ways?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone, if my story resonates with anyone, please get in touch. My website is very simple. My name, nikkihillhouse.com. I'm on all social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Email me, it's info@nikkihillhouse.com. Yeah, I think that's all my where you can contact me.
Well, we'll definitely make sure we put all of that into the show notes, and then it's very easy for people to connect with you. Can you tell us a little bit about the retreats that you host? I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this year's. It's in September, and it's so last year it was mixed, but this year it's for women only. And it's all about celebrating as women and our bodies for who we are, for what we are. It's really for people, like women in business, any women, mothers. You may be exhausted with a spin cycle of stress and exhaustion and tiredness. You just want to get away. You may have, and a lot of people have maybe some physical problems, physical things going on in the body. And I just teach tools and techniques that helps them to get peace with all that. We've got a beautiful Reiki healing and energy healing teacher again this year. I've got a beautiful practitioner coming to teach all about menopause and beyond, from the age of 30 up until about 90, because that's when our bodies start changing. Lots of mindfulness and psychology tools, movement and yoga. We go on a beautiful boat trip along the Aegean Sea where we do yoga and meditate under the sunshine. And yeah, it's literally, like I was saying earlier, Jessica, it's literally stripping back the layers. And I think when people are away from their usual environment, they start to relax. They start to open up more, and the emotions start to come, the trauma start to get healed, and they just leave with more of a sense of purpose and freedom, and just feel more aligned to who they are. It's that people forget who they are, and it's just like I was saying before, we're hiding behind the mum, the daughter, the sister, whichever mask we're wearing, and come back to their true, again, the true authentic self. So yeah, I'm quite passionate about my retreats.
Well, it just sounds so beautiful too, and relaxing. And you're describing all of these amazing suites of things that you can experience at the retreat, and then going on a boat with the yoga. I mean, that sounds the perfect vacation too.
I even said, I think one lady last year, I said, you don't have to partake in any, the retreat, activities. This is your week. This is for you. You do what you want to do. And she had a good sleep because she was laying in. She's reading, and it's all, whatever your body needs to rest and recuperate and heal. That's what it's all about. It's that thing again of, you don't have to do what's on the program. You don't have to do what feels right to you. What do you need? What do you want? What's going to nurture your health and your mental well-being today? So it's just a lovely way of giving people an option of what they'd like to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's inspiring to me, and I'm just imagining this. I'm going to go on a mini vacation with my mind as you're describing this. So I know that there's so many people out there who, they might think that this sounds great, but they're really not sure. Like, would something like this work for me? What would be your message for them?
Freedom's possible. If freedom was possible for me to go from taking 19 different drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, to no medication now, over the period of 9 years, then freedom's possible for you. Freedom's possible for every single one of us. Every single one of us. It's embracing what we have, and the tools and using tools and techniques, and it's being responsible for your own health as well. We need to take responsibility for our own actions and for our own health. Okay, we can, sometimes you do need to take medication the doctors give you, but become the CEO of your own health and know that freedom is possible for you. Whether you're struggling with something mentally at the moment, physically or emotionally, know that you have the ways to heal yourself. It's just you need a little bit of guidance along the way. That's all it is. And once you can see that, I'm worthy of a good life, I deserve a good life. I think Eckhart Tolle once said, when I'm sick and fed up with suffering, when people are sick and fed up with suffering, that's when they want to make that change. So we can either keep looking in the rear view mirror, but that takes our eyes off the path ahead, or we can stop sitting on the fence and we can take that responsibility and go and access our freedom, because it's there. It is there. It's just knowing how to access it. So yeah, for everyone to know that, you're stronger than you think you are, and freedom's possible.
I love that message. I think it's so empowering for those of us who, we aren't really sure. And it's really going back to, which glasses am I putting on today? Am I putting on the survivor glasses, the one where I'm self-accountable to me and how I take care of myself, or the victim glasses where I'm just putting it out there? And, because medications don't always work too, right? There's contraindications. There's all kinds of things that start to happen. So really being your own advocate for your own health.
Yeah, it's like own your health, own your mental well-being and your physical health. We're only here once. As cliche as that sounds, we are only here once. The future is not promised to any of us. So would you like freedom now, or are you waiting on freedom in the future that might not happen? So it's taking that responsibility and stop looking in that rearview mirror and go, no, I want to, I deserve to have this good quality life, and take action to find your freedom.
Well, it's such a beautiful message. And I think that everything that you're creating and doing and how you're providing hope for people, it's just so incredibly powerful and inspiring. I think that this is what our world needs today, especially in the modern society where we're kind of leaning so heavily on answers, but without really ownership from within too. So
like you said, oh, sorry.
Oh, no, please.
Like you said, Jessica, it's the ownership part. It's, if I didn't take the ownership of my health 9 years ago, I'd still be spending weekends in bed popping all my medication and not seeing friends and having no self-worth and no confidence. But I knew that it wasn't going to be an easy journey, but it's life. That's what life is like, isn't it? It's when you put the work in. My God, is that journey worth it? What you get out of that? So it's stop being. It's the fear bit, I think. Sometimes it holds people back from moving forward, and that's all it is. It's just the thoughts in your mind thinking, "Am I ever going to get anywhere better? What's the point? Who's going to help me?" And once you see that, I'm going to educate. It's education, isn't it? Educate yourself and find a way that, like I say, take your freedom back, take your power back. It's possible, definitely.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us your story and just filling our cups up too today as we're, thinking about how do we want to live our lives? How do we want to move forward authentically and with the freedom that you're talking about? So I appreciate you taking the time and just having us enter a little bit into your world and what that looks like. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. And have a beautiful day, everybody.
Well, thank you so much again. And for those of us joining, thank you for coming in, listening. And I hope that you get in touch with Nikki. She has amazing and beautiful things to share with you. And please join us next week as we have another amazing guest. Thank you for tuning into the Hello You Show. It's been a pleasure to have you with us on this journey today. If you found value in our conversation and want to support the show, please take a moment to like, follow, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd also deeply appreciate it if you could leave us a review. Your feedback not only helps us grow, but also enables others seeking inspiration and authenticity to discover our community. Until next time, keep embracing your story with purpose.